Dear Diary, today was a pretty good start to the week. I started off my morning not stressed and pretty confident, especially in my strength. I started off with a game and when I got to school I couldn't find Yuko, so I ran around the school looking for her and couldn't actually find anyone for a while until I went into the bathroom and found Yako and Kiro in there. I don't want to assume anything, but looking back on it now, they hang around each other a lot, especially in the bathroom. I don't want to assume anything. I'm not really sure what I'm assuming to begin with, but I think I'm going to be a bit more cautious of Yako. Yuko showed up mid-class, so I went to her as soon as the bell went. On my way to math I was talking to Nishikino and Yako joined instantly talking about how much she likes Kiro. Then she went into the bathroom where I heard Kiro greet her. Still, I don't even know what I think I'm implying. Right before I went into class Kiro was coming at me and Tsuruki effectively saved me by getting in the way. And after class some teachers were talking to Kiro in the back of the class. When they let her go, she whispered something to Hirakumi and instantly got in trouble again. Most people left to eat elsewhere for break, but me, Hirakumi, Tsuku, Saburo and Yuko all stayed to talk to each other. It was kind of hard because I don't think any of us like the same things. But good news, Saburo likes Ikebana and tried to defend it. But bad news, I saw Muranobu try kiss Juzo, then got kind of annoyed afterwards. I don't know how to feel considering the 4 times Juzo tried to kiss me despite me straight up telling her I don't like her. But she probably didn't deserve her autonomy taken away like that. After gym I talked to Yuko and Saburo. We could only really talk about what we had just done since Saburo doesn't have many interests and out of the ones she does have Yuko only likes fitness. This afternoon I've done a lot of study because of that second cutoff that got announced. And I've spent the rest of my time gaming. Things really are looking better.
They're going to kick me out.
Oh no, why?
Miyako, obviously.
Yeah, I bet. They're kicking me out on Friday to make it look like I just had bad grades like everyone else.
Why? What happened?
Meet me at my house tomorrow. We'll make a plan.
What happened though? I saw teachers talking to you. Did they just randomly decide to kick you out?
Right after school?
Like an hour after, so I can set the place up.
All right.
Kiro, what happened though?
Dear Diary, the snow's completely cleared up now, so graduation's coming close and I'll be out in the real world, which is kind of a weird thought. I can't imagine my life outside of school despite all the issues that come from it. I caught Yuko when I got to school. We started talking and she complimented me, which kind of took my mind off Ayasada glaring at us. After the first class I very cautiously got Saburo's attention. I feel so bad for her. She's placed right in between Ayasada and Kiro for English class. I spent the time between classes talking to her, mainly trying to talk about Ikebana, but of course everyone needs to put in their opinion when it comes to that, especially Juzo. As I was trying to leave, Kiro got into a fight with Muranobu, or the other way around, it was hard to tell, and when it was over Muranobu walked right past me and got into a fight with Yuko. If they don't get kicked out for grades they definitely should for fighting. Yuko was teary-eyed throughout class, so at break I made sure she was okay before going to talk to Saburo. Yuko sat at the desk behind us and randomly brought up how she likes Juzo when I was complimenting Saburo. I reminded her what Juzo did to me and she started to make a scene. When Geniki asked what I was talking about I told her and Yuko got so upset she shoved Muranobu out of the way as she ran off. Before I could protect myself I really appreciated her being quick-tempered and willing to fight for me, but now, it just seems so wrong. And without her I have Saburo, Tsuruki, Geniki and Hirakumi. Something happened over the hour it took for film studies to end. I went to talk to Saburo and she instantly turned around saying, "Did you hear the news? Ayasada is a baka," with the kind of confidence I didn't know she had in her. It was surprising, but I am glad she's more comfortable. Kiro and Yuko were arguing while Saburo and I talked and I was going to leave them to it, but eventually it got too much so I had to step in. I was worried that Kiro would follow me home after I stepped in, so I instantly started streaming and continued for 4 hours, and I got 746 yen out of it. Then I started writing this. I think having a diary has been pretty helpful for my anxiety because if I went missing the police could just go through this. I think I'll do a few stretches before showering and going to bed.
Okay, so obviously we haven't put Miyako in her place enough.
Obviously.
Is there really no way to keep Kiro in school?
No, even if we win over teachers Miyako's going to push to kick her out, so we've got to show her that we won't let her do that to any us.
I don't think just Kiro and I can take her on.
So we need more people.
I've got someone, but if she doesn't agree, then I think she might tell someone, and I'm pretty sure she's friends with Haru.
Tasuku and Geniki are kind of blank slates.
Geniki's hanging around Miyako, and Tasuku doesn't look like she could throw a punch.
I've got the perfect person, with a motive Oswell.
Dear Diary, I of course started with an hour on an MMORPG. When I got to school I picked Saburo out from behind Ayasada. Well, actually I should call Saburo Miyako because during the day we both decided we were close enough to use our first names. We talked outside of the school and Tsuruki joined in too. We all had to passively ignore Yuko fighting Muranobu at the gate. I don't really know what everyone's issue with her is. She is a bit abrasive, but I don't know what she's done. She can obviously handle a fight, but I don't have any suspicions about her. After the first class I was going to keep talking to Miyako until the next class, but then I looked at Yuko and Juzo just in time to see Juzo try to kiss Yuko. Yuko yelled and pushed her away, so I ran over and started bearding Juzo, and maybe I did tell Yuko I told her so, which I feel bad about now, but she started defending Juzo anyway, saying I wasn't being nice and crap like that. But then Masatake approached us and Juzo shoved her right into me, then ran away like some sort of villain getaway. I explained my history with Juzo to Hirakumi when she asked, then we just tried to continue a normal conversation about fitness since that's what we had next. When Muranobu started yelling about how weird we all are enough to get herself in trouble, break started, and as I walked past Ayasada she scoffed, so I insulted her enough for her to walk away, which I'm half proud of and half terrified. I tried again to warn Yuko that she needs to distance herself from Juzo, but she wasn't very receptive, so I went right to Juzo. She greeted me as we were friends and I heard Muranobu complimenting her. I guess that's why Moron is in her name. I told Juzo that she needed to stay away from Yuko, but I couldn't get much in because Kiro came over looking angry. I spent the rest of the break talking to Geniki, Miyako and Tsuruki. After Japanese I talked to Yuko for a few minutes and reminded her that she's a good person and what Juzo did wasn't okay, but my pep talk was interrupted by Muranobu. I think I talked to her most today out of the entire time I've gone to the school. I started streaming when I got home because I was a little bit paranoid about Ayasada being mad at me from break. But I'm fine, nothing happened and the house is locked up.
Hey Masatake.
Hi.
You know, I'd forgive you if you stopped hanging out with them. We could still be friends. We really could, Masatake, you don't need them.
Dear Diary, it's only just dawned on me that the Great Purge will be happening tomorrow and I haven't really checked where any of my friends are at. I'll ask them today. I played my game and when I got to school I went around the side entrance where Masatake completely bowled me over, which I think was on purpose, but I didn't push it. I was going to go into the bathroom but made a quick 180 when I saw Kiro in there. I overheard Masatake and Yuko talking, so I mid behind so equipment and listened. It sounded like Masatake was trying to gauge how much Yuko likes people, mainly people around me and literally me, asking apparent hypotheticals pertaining to my attack. Luckily Yuko said that when she finds the people who hurt me she's going to take them down, and she already has an idea of who could have done it. That seemed to make her nervous. After sport I upped my chances of getting attacked again by insulting Ayasada when I heard her muttering about not liking Yuko went to get into a fight, so I just talked to Miyako mainly about Ikebana because I'm so happy to have a friend who likes Ikebana. When the fight got bad I was going to go to science early, but then Miyako sat with me in the wing of the stage and said how much she likes me and is glad she got into the school. So we kept talking and I remembered to ask her how she's going in her subjects. She's starting to struggle in home economics, film studies and art, which I may have had the wrong reaction to for a while, because I got excited to be able to teach her the subjects that I'm good at, but the mood was ruined when the bell went and Masatake ran and knocking Miyako over. During break I had to go past Juzo, so I made sure to ask what was wrong with her, despite that she kept trying to join in on me and Miyako's conversation, so after a few minutes of that I told her to stop being a dick. I know it's mean, but being mean didn't get me beaten up. I don't know what got me beat up, but I was never mean, despite that every time I stepped away from Juzo she never got the hint and kept getting closer, until she decided she was bored, showing once again she doesn't care about me and probably never did. After English I talked to Tsuruki while I kept an eye on Ayasada and Miyako and Masatake, Hirakumi, Juzo and Yuko. Ayasada and Miyako weren't talking but the other group were, and it was a really weird tense conversation which I couldn't really follow. When Ayasada left I talked to Mieko and she hugged my arm in the way I used to hug Yuko's. Despite her more confident tone, she's still exactly where I used to be, and I guess I kind of need to be better than Yuko and make sure she doesn't get hurt. Despite the drama today, I didn't live stream when I got home. I did make sure the house was clear, but after I watched an anime and I invited Mieko over not because I wanted someone else in the house but because I wanted to show her my ikebana arrangements. She stayed for a while and left about 4 hours ago. I'm really excited to have her as a friend. Dear Diary, today was kind of stressful. I played my morning game as usual before going to school where I talked to Yuko, Mieko and Geniki for a while, before Juzo of course tried to butt in. Yuko stepped away and was trying to ignore her, so I stepped in. I will admit I said some mean things and I'm trying to justify it by her actions. But I do feel bad considering she was also kissed unconsentally, so maybe that's got something to do with everything she's ever done wrong. On my way to class I saw a big fight happening and it was hard to distinguish who was actually participating and who just got caught in it, but everyone sort of got themselves together. After film studies I talked to Mieko and she thanked me for giving her my notes, and I complimented her, which she gave me the sweetest smile for. I don't know if I'm developing some kind of complex or not, but she has the kind of smile you want to fight for, you know. Yuko eventually joined the conversation and kind of really threw it off, and then the bell went, which just made that niceness go away. Kiro was trying to start a fight as soon as the bell for break rang. I made some comments to her but tried to ignore her after, which didn't last long because she went up to Mieko. I stepped in and luckily Kiro turned her attention to me. Mieko did try stand up for me, which made me worry, but nothing happened to her. I was going through the gym to get to math, but I saw Nishikino on the stage, really sad. She told me she didn't think she was going to pass and her mum would be more than just really mad at her. I comforted as best I could, but from the sound of what teacher have been telling her and it already being Friday, every time I told her she would pass felt like a complete lie. After the next class I went and did stretches in the gym and eventually I saw Kiro go into the change rooms. I decided I would confront her, but as soon as I asked what her problem with me she ran away. Mieko came in right after her and a bit into our conversation Hirokumi came in and was kind of acting as a guard. I went to the shop with Nishikino right after school and I brought her a few things to try take some burden off of her. I've streamed for a while just for fun, read a manga and showered. I'm really worried for tomorrow. Dear Diary, I've done a lot of stretches, did a commission since rent is due tomorrow, and right as I finished my 5th round of a game I got an email.
Dear Miss Miyako Kimi, you will continue to attend our school due to your above 55 grades. We hope you will continue to succeed. Your current grades are attached below. Japanese 87, Math 101, Health and Fitness 101, Science 101, English 89, Home Economics 101, Film Studies 101, Art 101.
Which is totally fine, I'm above passing, but Yuko didn't. She didn't even message me. Just 15 minutes after the emails went out she showed up at my place. It was art and film studies she failed and I hope she didn't think I was mad at her when I said she should have come to me. I literally had no idea her grades were low. She had a moment of doubt where she blamed the teachers. She said they had it out for her. But she realized that wasn't true. She called her mum and I listened to them argue in a language I don't understand, but I know it didn't go well. She's sleeping at my house for tonight, but she's already got some sort of plan. Tsuruki also failed. She messaged while Yuko was on her call. For her it was actually a majority of classes. She said it's caused some additional stuff between her and her grandma, but she's not taking it to heart considering both of their ages, 21 and 83. Everyone's family issues make me think of mine, which I won't add to this journal since I burnt the last one from back when I lived with my dad, but it's making me notice the brown roots showing up again. Dear Diary, rent is paid and if I wanted to I could almost pay it twice. Yuko left about an hour before I woke up. For her plan to go well she needed to catch a specific train and her last message sent to me promised to keep in touch. I hope she does, but it's 10 at night now and she hasn't responded. I was stretching when Mieko called me and asked if she could come over. When she got to my house she told me that she passed everything. We of course celebrated, but it felt kind of bittersweet, considering my night just before. But I didn't bring any of that up to Mieko. I'm happy for her. After she left I did spend the rest of the day working out, reading manga, gaming and I went to the shop. I don't want bad karma, but I hope Kiro got kicked out. Dear Diary, I don't think my afternoons really matter that much, so I'm just going to write these in the last class since my grades are so good. After gaming I went to school and it was weird to see less people. I don't think I noticed it in way last time people were kicked out. Maybe it's because I had Yuko and was more focused on not getting into fights. I talked to Mieko first of course, and while we were talking Ayasada came over. Hirakumi tried to keep her way, but Ayasada shoved her. We avoided a full-on fight by ganging up on her though. Mieko got involved, which worried me, but I've got to remember she is her own person and not a kid. After Japanese I went into the gym to stretch. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself and I think I deserve to be a little egotistical after everything I've been through. I saw Yeko, Muranobu, Hirakumi and Kiro all go into the locker room and decided to try and spy, but they all kept talking over each other, saying things I couldn't really make out. When the bell went for math, I did some more spying on Mieko and Hirakumi this time. Yuko never really talked to my other friends, so it felt really good to see them talking, and when they got to the door I heard them say how pretty they think my hair is. During break I tried to talk to Geniki, but Kiro instantly came over and started instigating us. We got into a small fight and Hirakumi came to help me. Once that was over with Geniki, Mieko and I all talked about fitness until it was time for class. Between gym and science I talked to Hirakumi and Mieko, which was all good, but one thing stood out to me. Hirakumi said how stress-relieving gaming is and Mieko replied she wished she discovered it sooner, but when I talked to Mieko about gaming without Hirakumi she said it was just okay, which is fine. I don't need to talk to her about games, it was just a weird switch up. Bye Mieko. Juzo.
More lore, more drama, more runtime. I hope you all enjoyed and hopefully I get episode 10 out on time. My gosh, it's already episode 10. Alright, stay safe, stay happy, please subscribe and goodbye.